Hello and welcome to Bottom Line. Well, hectic politicking is underway in Assam, and why not? The elections are less than 3 weeks away. But again, every elections, the same question crops up again. Will women candidates, women leaders be left out once again? Will we see an increased number of women candidates these elections, or will it be the same old story? Now, before we go into the discussions, these are the statistics from the last elections, the 2016 elections in Assam, which saw as many as 1,064 candidates in the fray, of which a whooping 973 were males and only 91 female candidates. And of them, only 8 could go on to win the elections. Not only this, 62 out of the 91 female candidates who got to contest from the various parties, 62 had to forfeit their deposits. Well, we are not judging the women candidates here. What we are questioning is that, is leadership, key roles, platforms not being given to women by parties, and that's across parties. We are not zeroing down, we're not zeroing on one single party here. The numbers, the figures, they speak for themselves. Is this a result of our mindset, which may be patriarchal in this case, or is there a need to change the way we look at things when we see women in politics, and are we even heading that way? These are some of the questions we'll be asking tonight. To discuss the issue, I'm being joined by Janki Goswami Count of the Assam BJP. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am, to Bottom Line. Swarnali Brahma Chaudhary of the Congress joins us in the studio. Dr. Sangeeta Datta, psychologist, also joins us in our Guwahati studios. From Shillong, I'm being joined by Professor Nehu, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, a political analyst, an observer, and we're also expecting Dr. Sabrina Iqbal Sirkar of Pragjyotish College, assistant professor, to join us in the discussion soon. Well, if I can come to Janki Goswami first, the figures, the 2016 figures speak for themselves, and we assume that things are not going to be much different this time round, isn't it?
See, before coming to that, coming to your specific question, let me talk a little about the background of women in politics. See, we have seen women leaders like Sarojini Naidu, we have seen leaders like Konaklata Borua from Assam. They have taken part in a very important, and which is the nerve center of our history, that is the freedom movement of India. We have seen them taking part in, we have seen women taking part in key roles, whether it be politics, whether it be the corporate world, or whether it be, for that matter, any other field. But sadly enough, although we know that women have the capacity to lead, they have the capacity to deliver, they have the capacity to prosper in many fields, but sadly enough, we see that since the days of Sarojini Naidu, we have not seen exponential growth in the number of women participating in politics. And that is partly also due to the inherent patriarchal mindset, which has played a predominant role in our societal fabric. So that is one of the major reasons, I feel. But having said so, it is gradually increasing. Now, if you see last time in the 17th Lok Sabha, there are around 78 women out of the elected members in the Lok Sabha, 78 women MPs. But there is a scope for participation. Even if you see our assembly, you have already said there are 8 women MLAs, but there is a scope for increased participation of women. See, they have already played a very important role as voters, and that we have seen in many other elections, including the last Bihar elections, which was a significant election.
Absolutely.
There we have seen that the turnout of women voters was more than the turnout of male voters. So what I feel is that there is a consciousness which is increasing in the number of women. They are very, very conscious voters. So I feel that when they can be smart voters, they can also be very smart leaders. Okay. So now the thing is, first of all, the mindset needs to change. Women themselves, they also need to understand judge and assess their own capabilities so that they come out to the forefront and lead. We are all women. We all want people like us and any other woman for that matter to come forward and lead the society. When they can take part in forming the society, when they can be a great mother, when they can be a great wife, when they can be a great sister, when they can play important roles in the corporate world, why can't they play a deciding role also in politics and lead us? We want women members to come forward and lead, but yes, the women themselves also need to understand their own capabilities and assess themselves and then come forward. We will look forward to women who are leaders.
I'm glad that you are speaking as a woman first, as a BJP member later.
Yes.
Way to go, of course, and I'm glad that you started on that note.
But there is also something else that I would like to add upon to it. Another important thing is that, as I have already told you, that the number is still is not very satisfactory, but the number is gradually increasing. Now, if you look at our party encourages women to come forward. If you see certain important portfolios like finance, like defense, Nirmala Sitharaman ji was the first defense minister after Indira Gandhi. Of course, Indira Gandhi was the defense minister when she was herself the prime minister. She had kept the defense portfolio to herself.
Congress is being led by, of course.
Yes, we have. That I will not deny.
That
we will not deny.
Yeah.
But in our government, I have also seen another thing that women seem to be the nerve center.
We will come to that in due course of time.
Yes.
In due course of our discussion. Sonali Brahmachaudhary, again, do you think it is the hiccups of the initial stages when you join politics as a woman, when you join politics at any level, be it as a party worker, is it the hiccup of the initial stages that may be responsible for not many women taking active part in politics like their male counterparts?
See, actually politics is still not considered as a career choice by many women till now. Only those women who were exposed to politics during their student life or during their early life due to family politics or other things, only those women are taking politics seriously. And for others, but politics is still a far away career choice. So, there may be various reasons for that. And secondly, though we have, as the Indian National Congress has given women a very commanding position since the beginning, but still we have to do a lot of things, but still we have to remember that the Indian National Congress has created the highest number of women legislators, women parliamentarians, not only in Assam, but throughout the country. So
no, that is because you rule the country for the longest time. Of course, that's something which cannot be
proportionate figure.
That cannot be a benchmark. Of course,
but still, I don't think the BJP is going to have any woman party supremo in any near future. I don't think Sitharaman may become the Sitharamanji or Smriti Irani would become the prime minister or the party supremo, party president anytime sooner or later. I don't think so. Whereas our party president is a woman.
So we will come to that. We'll discuss on that.
The first woman chief minister, Anora Time.
These are one of cases. Okay, these are one of cases. That's not. We are looking into wholesome participation. Dr. Sabrina Iqbal Sarkar has also joined us. But before that, we would like to go to Dr. Prasenjit Biswas in Shillong. Dr. Biswas, again, what we have been witnessing is that parties are continue to be reluctant in giving more tickets to female candidates. Of course, winnability is of course the factor. We cannot deny that. But doesn't that imply that we do not have a system in place which would have encouraged, which would have enabled us rather to have more women leaders around?
Yes, like any other social development program, inclusion of women and participation of women in politics also is an outcome of a certain guided initiative. Let me give you the example of West Bengal, where 50% of the panchayat level seats at the local level are reserved for women. So willy-nilly women have to be drawn into panchayats and women's representation have to be ensured. Similarly, there is a long-standing demand for 33% reservation of women in parliament and the assembly. Now this demand has been opposed by males and patriarchs cutting across all the parties, starting from BJP, Congress, left to Samajwadi. Everyone, many of these male political persona, they have opposed 33% women's reservation. Now unless we really create a slot for women in a constitutional manner, which Constitution of India allows for, how would women be empowered? So therefore, right now we are in a blank situation where if parties wish, they will put women leaders. If they do not wish, they will sidetrack them. Even established women leaders are pushed back. They are not given a second chance or a third chance. So therefore, there is a lot of discrimination, even in 21st century, against women. Equality between men and women still a far go. And to establish it in politics, which is a good starting point, one needs to engage into a more directed constitutional reformatory process, which will require reserving seats for women at every level. Now the second issue is that, is it that women from advanced sections of society are more privileged than the women from the backward society, as for example some Dalit women leader would argue, or tribal women leaders, they are relatively disadvantaged than the women from progressive advanced society. We have to see the classification and the stratification of women going with the social stratification. Keeping that in mind, we have to target, guide and direct women's reservation in order to ensure women's empowerment and genuine participation of women cutting across the party lines.
Point taken. Dr. Sabrina Iqbal Sarkar, welcome to Bottom Line. Well, again, we may be witnessing lesser participation or a lower number of candidates, women candidates once again. Dr. Prasenjit Biswas here feels that reserving seats, reforms is the way to ensure that women have bigger participation in the polls, in elections, as candidates, as leaders. Do you think that is the way, or things have to be driven from the very ground? It should start at the school and college levels. Of course, in universities, colleges, we do see there's not much of a difference when we come to student politics. There's a large female participation. So it has to be. Do you think it should be self-driven, or reforms also have to go hand in hand?
Yes, I do believe that it has to start at the grassroots level, especially in educational institutions. I would like to add that there are actually, more complicated reasons for women's underrepresentation or negligible representation in politics. Mainly for the fact that women have not been encouraged to join formal politics, point number one, because they are always anticipated to not be able to represent, a larger section of interest of the society. And that is the reason, we have theorists when it comes to international politics like Cynthia Enloe, who have questioned always that where are the women when it comes to women leaders. That is the reason why you see that most of the women organize themselves in alternative politics rather than in formal politics, where they are actually given positions of power. So the thing is that if we actually want proper representation of women in politics, we have to encourage the girls, from very childhood itself, from institutions like college level politics, student union politics. It is a very sad fact that I have to state that in many colleges and universities, girls are not encouraged to take up higher positions of the student union, like president or general secretary.
Okay, we will fix the we will fix the frame. They will come back to you. We'll come back to you, Dr. Sarkar. Dr. Sangeeta Datta, first remarks from you. You have been patiently hearing. Do you think again the patriarchal mindset has much to do in the kind of situation that we are witnessing today?
Yes, I completely agree with that. The patriarchal mindset has a lot to do about what we see today so far as underrepresentation of women in politics is concerned, more so in Indian politics, if we discuss that. Now, what does the patriarchal mindset usually do? Now, if we talk about patriarchy, we have to go back, let's look at the history of it. So what happens is that in primitive times, a man was supposed to be the breadwinner for the family, and he used to go out, and it was usually, a man would actually earn his livelihood for his family through manual work. So the woman was supposed to be at home. A girl child was taught how to manage a home. Once she grows up and gets married to someone, she was supposed to be the wife and be the mother, bear and rear children. So she never ever imagined about anything in her life beyond her family and beyond her house, her household. So now times have changed. Today we are talking about girl child education. Of course, education has come, it has come long back, but today we are talking about, especially with the International Women's Day round the corner, because we are going to celebrate it on the 8th of March, and also assembly elections, state assembly elections, almost, I think it's 3 weeks away. It's a very relevant subject to discuss today, because today we are talking about this time's International Women's Day's theme is choose to challenge. What do we challenge actually? We are also trying to challenge the patriarchal values, which talks about specific gender stereotypes, gender roles, etc. Times have changed. However, even today when we look at a woman who's working outside, who's a girl who's educated and she's got married, she's also working like her husband. Often we get to see in families that when she gets back home, she rushes to the kitchen while her husband is perhaps relaxing with a newspaper or the television. So there is gender disparity even today, which is very unfortunate. Now when we talk about politics is a different, it's world, because, active participation of a man or a woman in politics would need a lot of time and energy. Now the big question is, when we talk about patriarchal mindset, does a woman have that amount of time or space or
But is
energy?
Is it just that?
Does
or,
she have
or a
the-
male's
does she-
reluctance? A male's reluctance to probably
No, does she
take
have the
instructions
family
and orders
support?
from a
Yes,
female?
when we talk about a male's reluctance, we have to talk about two things, actually three things. Number one, for a woman to actually walk out of her home and join politics actively, she has to have the support from her family members. People do talk about individual decisions and choice, but trust me, when a woman is living with other members of her family and the other members are not encouraging her, it can really become very difficult for a woman to cross all barriers and obstacles and actually participate in active politics, because half her energy is lost doing that. Second thing is that even in the society, when we talk about the society outside the family, not too many males, they are very supportive of the fact that women should be in active politics as leaders. So why don't they support? Number one is, of course, a section of them could doubt their abilities, because they think that women are created by the creator to just bear and rear children, to take care of the domestic work, etc. But some of them are not really doubtful of the abilities of women, because women have already proved what they can do in different areas of work. What happens is, this is very sensitive, but I must talk about this. I think a lot of men who do not encourage women, even today, because of the patriarchal, age-old patriarchal values, they completely understand about the abilities that women have, and they perhaps feel insecure, because when we talk about the male ego, a woman cannot lead. A woman cannot be the boss. A woman cannot, we cannot work under a woman. And they're not a section of them have met them in person. So it could be doubts about a woman's abilities.
Yeah,
it could be doubts related to the fact that a woman, if she joins active politics, she might neglect her household responsibilities as a mother and as a wife, or there could be hidden insecurities too. We cannot deny that completely.
I will take a reaction on
Yes.
this from Ms. Janaki Goswami Count. But before that, Dr. Sarkar, well, women are doing well in every field, be it in the corporate sector, other jobs as professionals. So we cannot buy that theory completely, that it's against the male ego to take orders from the females, because women are doing excellently well in all fields. Then why not politics? Why not politics?
See, I would say actually, I would like to reframe what my colleague has just said. Right now, it is not only about men, it is about women as well. Patriarchy includes women as well, because women are greater patriarchs than men, firstly. All right. So I would like to make two arguments in this context. Firstly, the creation of spaces, for example, politics, war, the state, they are created as exclusively masculine spaces, and as soon as you create something as masculine, you are implicitly excluding the women. You are not asking, you are not, incorporating their representation in numbers into these particular fields because you have deliberately constructed them as masculine. As far as the support aspect goes, the support of the women, I believe that, we have to move away from the women always being situated in a subjective context, because a man will never ask, whether he's supported by his family or not as far as the representation in politics goes. If a woman wants to do something, she can do it. It comes down to ground level decision making within the family. Okay, so I think the major obstacle which comes here is that the formal institutions like the state, okay, they have to make space for the women. Because actually, on paper, in theory, we have legislations, we have, different kinds of measures to ensure that women are taking part from the PRIs, from the Panchayati Raj institutions up till the parliament. But that is not actually happening. And, another major problem which I think we need to talk about today is that there are a lot of proxy women in politics. There was an Amazon show, if I'm not mistaken, called Panchayat, where they show that actually the Panchayat of the woman of a village is a woman, but her husband is running the office. She's only
Exactly
there in
my
name.
point when
All
Dr.
right?
Biswas was talking about reservations and reforms. We will,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so it is, the proxy women are also a problem. I think the point is that when we talk about women's representation, every time around Women's Day and, otherwise on women's issues, there's a lot of talk about women being represented. But the society, men and women alike, because, a lot of times women pull back women. And another problem that I have seen which exists in countries like Asian, Africa, and Latin America is that the concept of sisterhood is not there. Mostly you will see that, it is mother-in-laws or it is mothers or it is sisters or it is colleagues, who are holding their girls back because they believe that women are not efficient enough. I would like to reframe the male ego part. It is not only about male ego. Yes, there may be a section of men who do not want to encourage the women, but it is not simply all male centric because like I said, a lot of women, there is no concept of sisterhood. They do not like to see their sisters, their colleagues go ahead in the field. It is about societal support as a whole.
Okay,
Can I just
It's about
ask
men
for
and
half
women
a-
together to support women to go ahead, So I think what happens here is that we need women to actually become proactively involved in politics. They have to be really represented rather than being represented only in paper, rather than only proxy women being represented. And for that actual representation to happen, the awareness has to start from the grassroots. Women who are very active in their communities, in their societies, in their religious communities, they should come forward. They should give representation to their causes and voices. And if some people have a problem, if some people have a problem with women's authority, that cannot stop all women
Absolutely,
from being
absolutely.
voiced.
Absolutely,
It cannot stop all
yeah.
women from being voiced. If I want to be heard, I will have to create my space. And I
Absolutely.
will have to do
Also, at the
that.
same time, women also have to fight their way up. But of course, there should be a congenial environment for that. Yeah, very quickly.
Yes, very quickly. When I mentioned the male ego, she's very correct. I also mentioned about gender stereotypes. When I talk about gender stereotypes, it is about what a woman should be, how a woman has been. A woman should be a good mother, a woman should be a good wife, a woman should be a good sister, etc. In the gender stereotype thing, you never have a woman as a good politician, as a good leader. Somewhere,
But
know,
you already
our
have.
mindset has to change.
But you already have a woman as a good corporate employee,
No,
a
that
teacher,
is
an
a part of the
academician.
changing. That is a part of the changing picture. Times are changing.
Yeah,
but today when we're
that
talking
brings
about
me.
politics,
That
it's
brings
still
me.
changing.
That
Yes.
brings me. Yeah. You want to make a point?
Yes, yes.
A small thing I would like to add here. A small
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
I would like to add
I'll
here,
get back
if
to
I
you.
can.
I'll get back to you, Dr. Sarkar. Janki Khaundia wants to make a point.
Actually, I completely agree with Dr. Sangeeta here, and also Sabrina Iqbal Sarkar when they talked about women not getting support from the family. But here I would also like to add one point. It's not just about a man stopping a woman from doing something. It is also a woman stopping herself from doing something. As I told you
Yes.
earlier, it is about a woman assessing herself, judging herself. Am I capable of doing this? Am I ready to cross the barriers? Now you see, this mindset is over the years changing, because if you see the defense sector, for an example, you would hardly see any woman participating in a defense sector till a few years back. But now we see women wanting to join the military, women wanting to join the Navy, women wanting to join the Air Force. And we have seen pilots like Shivangi Singh. She was earlier flying the MiG-21. Now she is a proud flyer of an aircraft like Rafale. So these are the changing times and the changing mindsets. So what we need to work upon first is the change of mindset. That is primarily very important.
You're
And
right,
the woman,
breath.
yes,
I would
yes.
like to take a
Just,
breath.
and just adding to what Janki has said, why does a woman stop herself? It is again about the subtle messages that she gets as she grows up in a family,
Exactly.
as she grows up in a society. Am I supposed to do this?
We will take-
Am I capable of doing this? So it's
We will
ultimately
take
about
we will
the
take
mindset.
we will
Yes.
take
Yes.
specific reactions on this.
Reservations may change the scenario
Yes.
in political in the political
we will come
field.
to this.
Now we
We'll-
already have we already have reservation at the panchayat level, but the situation should not be such that we have a reservation for women, maybe as
yet we don't have
yeah,
sufficient
and yet we
Absolutely.
don't have
Absolutely. It's already
representation.
happening.
yes.
Dr. Prasanjit Biswas from NEHU, well, you mentioned that reforms and reservations are perhaps the only way. But again, as some of our panelists have rightly mentioned, that reforms, reservations always come with their own loopholes. We have already witnessed dummy. I hate to use this term, but dummy women candidates, and this is nothing new. I don't want to name some of the famous politicians from across the nation. We all know, we all are aware, and this has been going on for the last decades. So do you think only reforms and reservations are enough? After all, the mindset has to change, and probably university politics can play a big role in changing this mindset, isn't it?
No, I don't think mindset today is a problem. But what is rather a problem is when women challenge the patriarchal authority, then patriarchy tries to exclude women. Now, proxy candidates and not having women candidate is the deep-seated impact of long-time exclusion that patriarchy has carried out on the society. So this tethers of patriarchy needs to be completely broken and unshackled so that women can come out and freely express their voice and opinion. Once that space is created and a democratic space is extended and expanded to include women necessarily as a partner, if not a greater partner than men, if that kind of a legal, moral and ethical grounding is already done, then there won't be any problem in extending women's empowerment to 33% or beyond. So therefore, we have to create spaces at the grassroots level, which will find its reflection at the institutional level. And if patriarchy tries to stall it, women must have enough power to fight back the patriarchy that comes in the way. Therefore, it's a struggle against patriarchy on which women must win, and democratic society and a constitutional state must facilitate women's victory on patriarchy in every sense of the term.
Absolutely. Again, coming back to you, Janki Goswami, of course, Swarnali Brahma, one of you are part of the BJP, the other of the Congress. In your stint in your political career, how often have you faced a difficult situation because of being a woman? Have you ever faced that? And how are those struggles probably different from a male member, male worker of the same party, the same unit? If you ever faced any such situation, Janki, come first.
See, competition is always there. There is always male to male competition, female to female competition, female to male competition. All kinds of competition are there. But then I feel personally, I have not had to struggle too much to, I wouldn't say I have got somewhere. I still have a long way to go. But whatever little space I have been able to make for myself in this platform, I would say I did not have to struggle too much. One is because I have two things worked for me. One is support from my family, and second is support
That's
from
also
the party.
because of the family you come from in a way. I
Yes.
don't want to get personal, but yes, that
Yes.
also helps in a way.
Yes,
Yeah.
support from my family and support from the party. These two factors have helped for me. So, as I said, there may be person-to-person competition, but when it comes to the, the family front, yes, I have got support. When it comes to the party front, yes, I have got support, cooperation, and upliftment from the party as well. So that has worked for me.
Sonali Brahma.
What we see from the outside and what we see from the inside, that is a little bit different. There is a big vacuum inside the party for women leadership.
Okay.
So I, as a member of, as the office bearer of Assam Pradesh Mahila Congress, I know there is a big vacuum, and the effort is that we should bring more and more women leaders into politics. That is our effort. And that is also the challenge, because as we go around, we see there are leaders, there are women who are maybe related to politics, but they are not very much willing to actively participate in politics. So that is the big challenge, and that is the reason. I don't think that is because of patriarchal society, but I think women by nature or politics is not in their instinct. What I feel, men are politician by instinct, but women,
Is it
they are
so?
not.
Is it so? Why not?
That is my personal feeling.
Why not?
That is my, but women are not
if-
politicians by instinct.
A politician is supposed to be a builder.
Instinct and
Yeah,
men are
yeah.
politicians
Dr.
by
Sarkar wants to
instinct.
come in. Yes.
Gender neutral.
That's very blatant stereotyping. You cannot make such a statement, ma'am.
That is my personal feeling, and I myself being in the active politics, I never faced any problem, and I always got support and upliftment from the party, and there is space for women politicians. But it is myself who is stopping myself, and I think beyond a particular limit, if I can push myself more, for that reason, if I will be less available for my family, for my children, that's my personal concern. That is not somebody else who is stopping me. So that is what I think, that politics, maybe we are a little bit not comfortable, or maybe I myself is not very much. I don't want to do it at the cost of my time for my family. So that is the thing, I think so, and that is my personal opinion.
That can be,
not
of course,
Personal
that's her personal matter actually.
I-
That's her personal matter. But I
I
disagree.
can
But
come in,
I disagree with one point when she said that inherently it is not there in women. And that
Exactly,
there I would like
exactly.
to, I would beg to differ, because every person, irrespective of man or woman, is born with dreams and aspirations, and I think we have
Absolutely.
full right
Yes.
to live it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would also.
I didn't say
I would like
we
to
have to
supplement
write,
this
but
point.
there is a
Right choice,
difference.
actually.
So
And
Inherently,
think is a
how
different thing,
if we
and
block
We cannot
ourselves.
attribute it to a gender. We cannot say all women
I have
are not
already
made
voiced
for
my
politics
opposition
or
to that
something like
point.
that.
I would like to make another point, if I may. That when it comes to women in politics, we cannot think of women in politics in isolation, because it starts at the level of society and the state. A lot of people, like we just heard, think that a family is only exclusively a woman's responsibility. That is why it becomes difficult for a woman to leave home and go to work and and do things that she wants to pursue in life. So there is this epitome of motherhood and wife that we have glorified, and if any woman diverts from that, she becomes a convention that is not supposed to be followed. When a man is pursuing his dreams, when he is ambitious, he's always applauded that he's so ambitious, he's doing so much. Nobody questions his responsibility towards family and wife and parents, etc. But every time a woman wants to pursue, why do we bring in this but? That she's married, she has kids, she has a husband. Everybody has family, but everybody is doing what they want to do in spite of that. We have to acknowledge the woman as a person in herself who might have some, things she wants to do, and she cannot be always weighed subjectively in the context of her family and her responsibilities, because family and responsibilities are not exclusive to the woman only. It comes to a man as well. But every time a woman wants to do what she wants, she goes ahead, she's always criticized and she's questioned, and her character is questioned, that what is she doing with so many men, why is she going here, why is she coming back at night? So these things have to change.
I'd just
Yeah.
like to mention something. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Quick, yeah.
As a psychiatrist, what I would like to repeat again is whatever we have discussed, it again boils down to one thing, that is mindset. When what a girl believes in, what a woman believes in, whether she has that amount of sense of self-worth, self-esteem, it's again about her upbringing, her education. Now, whether a woman, so far her dreams and her aspirations are concerned, it's also about the kind of societal values and the upbringing issues that she is exposed to. When it comes to patriarchy, again, we said that it's not just men who hold women back, it's also about women who hold women back. But it's again about patriarchy, it's about gender stereotypes. Even a mother or a mother-in-law or a sister would say, a woman is not supposed to do this. When it comes to women representation or reservation, again, it's about changing the mindset, because people have to think why women need more representation and reservations. So I think it's all about changing the collective consciousness of a society. So far, a woman's role in her as a mother, as a wife, as a politician, or in different areas of life is concerned, we need to reassess and reconsider who we think a woman should be or who we think a woman is. And of course, as Janki has mentioned earlier, woman has to believe in herself. But again, having said that, I think so far as breaking the shackles of patriarchy is concerned, it's not just the job of a woman. I think her male counterpart should also help her break the shackles, because I've seen, and another thing is that when it comes to politics, women in politics, it is not about neglecting her roles as a mother and as a wife. A woman can be a great wife, a great mother, and also be a great politician at the
Absolutely.
same time.
Balancing
It is
the
only
roles.
about balancing, and it's only about support from other people around her. So please
See,
cooperate instead
now-
of
now-
competing.
So when it comes to breaking
yes,
barriers,
yes.
we have seen people
If
like
I
Kalpana
would
Chawla,
like to make an
soaring
important
heights.
point.
She is she was an
No, Janki, the
yeah,
point
she
I
was an
wanted to
astronaut
make- I
of
wanted to make
repute.
it's,
Yeah.
like, okay, Kalpana Chawla was totally dedicated and focused. in
Yes,
what she
we
did.
have seen- we
But
have
I
seen
also
corporate-
I've also come across women who are great mothers, great wives. They're also great politicians.
Yes.
So we
Yes,
cannot
yes,
say
and,
women
We have
have
many
other
examples.
roles.
We have many
I
examples.
would like
I
to
mean,
make
when
a
we
point.
when we come
It's all
to
about balancing.
when we come to politicians, yes, we have seen
Yes.
Smriti Irani ji playing such a beautiful
Yes,
role.
yes.
And when it comes
Yeah.
to corporate leaders, we have
Women-
people like Indra Nui of
Exactly.
PepsiCo.
They are
She
capable of
is
Well,
balancing
coming
her
to
role.
that-
In fact,
coming to that-
I was reading an article on Indra Nui the other day, and she had specifically spoken about her role in balancing herself
Yes,
as a mother, as a wife, and as
So the common belief
as a
system-
corporate head.
So do you agree with
So
me when I say
if,
the common
um,
belief
But do you
if I
think?
may-
Do
if I
you
may-
think?
if I may
Do
make
you
a
Do you
point,
think? Do you
Neglecting
think?
others, it's not
Do you
true.
think,
No,
Doctor
I would
Dr.
like to make a
Sarkar?
point here.
Dr.
All
Sarkar,
my
do you think?
co-panelists-
Dr. Sarkar, do you think that the person still, despite being so successful, had to speak about balancing her role as a mother and a
Exactly, I
working
want to speak
professional?
on that. I want
That
to-
also
I
speaks
want to make-
volumes of where our society is still now.
Yes, I would like to make 2 points here, Navarun. Firstly, like my co-panelists have been asserting, it is about the woman believing in herself. So I would like to term this, let us call this emotional empowerment, empowering oneself to believe in oneself. Firstly, that a woman needs to believe that I can do this. The problem is that we are taught certain things since childhood in such a way that the women ourselves, we internalize certain beliefs, we learn certain things, and after one point of time, it becomes very difficult to unlearn them about ourselves.
Yes.
And that, in a way, kind of hinders our growth outside our homes. We are not confident in ourselves if we can go and do that. So it is about emotional empowerment. It is about empowering the woman herself that, yes, I can do this. And secondly, when it comes to balancing the roles as mother and, as anything else, as a politician, as a corporate worker, for me as a professor, whoever, whatever we are doing outside our homes, I would just like to make a statement with all due respect, even if women are not good mothers, it is okay. Why do we have to always put this pressure on women that, they have to be good mothers? How many times do we question the father, that you have to be a good father? Because, if a man is quote unquote not a good father, it always comes to be highlighted as, he has been working so hard for his family. Who am I doing this? I'm doing this for my family. I think we need to replace the idea of motherhood, with mothering. Let's not glorify motherhood. A woman is a person in herself. I've asserted this before as well. And, if she's working, there might be certain imbalances at home. It is okay. We are not perfect. We are human beings. Sometimes we might go wrong somewhere. But that these factors should not be so stringent that women are afraid to step out of their homes because they'll be socially ostracized if they do not perform their roles as good mothers. Even if they cannot balance, if they balance, fantastic, nothing as great as that. But even if they cannot
Point taken.
balance, women
Point
have
taken.
every right
Yeah,
to
beg to
pursue their
differ.
dreams.
Yeah, you want to make a point, Janki, count.
What I am talking about is that, when you initially asked me about women's participation in our party, then the number definitely is increasing. It is not satisfactory as yet, but the number is increasing. But we cannot compare this number with the number of the Congress, because as you said, Congress itself ruled for 60 years, more than 60 years. So definitely they will have more participation of women in their party than ours. But our participation of women will also increase with time. But another point that I want to make here is that our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, he has made women the nerve center of many programs and many policy making, many policy
which
making
is-
programs and campaigns. Because if you see Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao,
Absolutely,
that is
I was coming to
absolutely a
that. I
woman-centric-
was coming to that.
It is
yes.
absolutely a woman-centric.
It is woman-centric.
It is woman-centric, and not only that, you'll be happy to know that because of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, although it is just a campaign, we think that it is a campaign, what has been done under it, but you will be very happy to know that in states like Rajasthan, in states like Punjab, in states like Haryana, this campaign has helped in reducing the female foeticide ratio. So this is how we will start, educating the people about the equality of gender. So our entire exercise will start from that education.
Which is
Which
absolutely
will-
fine. Which is absolutely
yes,
fine.
yes.
Point taken. You also give examples of so many women leaders, including Nirmala Sitharaman, Smriti Irani,
Yes.
Can I
which
give
is
the example of a
absolutely
man?
fine. Which is
Yes.
absolutely fine.
It's not, I'm digressing
well,
from politics slightly, but let's talk about Chetan Bhagat for half a minute.
Yeah,
Chetan
but
Bhagat
yeah.
could become a writer only because he took care of his twins and he was home taking care of the twins and writing while his wife earned for the family. So this is about challenging gender roles and gender stereotypes.
which is
And
okay. We will. But this
This is
discussion
about
is
breaking barriers.
specifically
Yes, breaking
on the
barriers.
elections.
Breaking
So I would like
stereotypes and
Janki
breaking
Goswami to come in and also take a reaction from Dr. Biswas there. Janki Goswami, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is fine. Women leaders are fine, but the same party and same parties, should I say, when it comes to giving tickets during polls, they shy away. They shy away. The figures are like, if you take, it's less than 10%, less than 8%, 7% of the candidates are women, which means despite everything, we have failed. So far we have failed. Things may be
differentiation
going
here-
in the right direction. It doesn't seem to be. Let me also
See,
tell you this,
differentiation
but we
here-
have failed.
Differentiation here is not based on gender. Because any political party is very, very election centric also. Because when it comes to elections and choosing a candidate to fight elections, we will also have to look into the winnability factor. So this differentiation or whatever you say is not based on gender alone. There are many other factors which count into giving a ticket to a candidate. So it is not necessarily making a clear demarcation between men and women. It is about choosing the right candidate. But yes, wherever we find
yeah,
that there
on
is a
that-
woman candidate who has the chances of win, we will never
Absolutely.
step back.
But again, Dr. Prasenjit Biswas, the fact that we don't have a sizable number of candidates, women candidates who have the winnability factor, doesn't that imply that we have failed miserably in creating women leaders?
I beg to differ on this because there are many winnable women candidates who are just brushed aside because men in the party decide everything, and hardly there are any women in the party's parliamentary board who take active decision as like their male counterpart. Therefore, there is a discrimination even in the decision-making procedure which excludes women in a certain way. So, therefore, discrimination has to be removed. And once that question comes, you can see a very strange hypocritical situation. Women actually fear a lot of harassment, a lot of sexual harassment even happens in many of the parties, in many of the public spaces for which women seek justice, but they don't get justice even today. So unless we establish a more justiciable society which makes women's
taken.
rights protected
Point taken. Point
and
taken.
allows women
Point
a
taken.
fair chance
I'm running
by
out
not
of time.
discriminating against them,
Yes.
then
Point-
only women
point
leadership
taken.
will be perfect.
Point taken. I'm running out of time. Dr. Sarkar, last comments. What is the way forward from the neutral speaker? What is the way forward? Very quickly,
Like
30
I said
seconds.
in the beginning, yes, like I said in the beginning, we have to make it an all-inclusive space. Politics has to be an all-inclusive space. And you know, when we talk about women empowerment, we have to focus on emotional empowerment of the women, that they themselves believe in, in what they can do, firstly. And secondly, we have to go ahead with the implementation of the schemes and legislations which have already taken place in India and the other parts of the world. Because as far as things on paper go, we have a lot of them. But as far as implementation goes, we lack massively. So that has to be done. And the society overall, men and women together, we have to come ahead and make space for the women. We cannot construct spaces
Have to
as
make
exclusively
space
masculine.
for the women. Janki Count, last remarks, 20 seconds.
My final statement would be the same. A woman has to believe in herself and come forward to take part in every aspect of the society, in every field of the society. And the society also needs to cooperate to bring women
Absolutely.
to that
It's a
level.
two-way process. Sonali
It's a two-way
Brahma.
process.
Yeah, I think the parties, all the political parties have to create platform to create leadership, women leadership.
Absolutely. There is something we really want this election season, Dr. Datta.
Change mindset.
Change
as we
mindset.
immediately
Very
said.
well summed up.
Yes.
Actually, we hope to see at least this elections at least 10% of the candidates. I'm not being very optimistic, but let's hope for at least 10% of the candidates be women candidates, and let's see how things shape up. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in this very informative discussion and giving your views on this.